Okay guys, so welcome back to another video. It's been a long time since I sat down and made a video like this. The streaming platform has taken pride of place. And as you guys can see with the second camera and the background on the main camera as well, I've put a lot of work into this setup. So I'll probably get a different second camera for this, for this second viewpoint here at some point. I'm not 100% sure. If I can mount something from the roof, it would give me the perfect view. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying it. The last video was obviously a much superior quality, and this one seems to be the same. So the topic of discussion, guys, is something that's really been prevalent in my life lately. So I managed to get into discussions with a bunch of guys who are like 14, 15, 16 years old. There was some guys at the gym who came over and were talking to me, and there's something else through a teacher that I know, and I was able to chat to these guys, okay? Some of the guys grow up in a more privileged area, which, look, this isn't a knock on these guys. Everybody I spoke to was lovely, okay? They're all lovely people. But they grew up in more of a privileged area. The other guys grew up in... It's a tough area, okay? It's tough. A lot of people don't make it out of that area, okay? Now I noticed one thing. The one thing that was really resonant with me is that the guys from the tougher area couldn't figure out how to get started. And the main catalyst for that was motivation. Okay, so I spoke to 4 different guys. They didn't hear each other speaking, but they all said the same thing, which makes me realize that it's a problem. And every single one of them was talking about how they can't get started. They don't have the motivation. They find it hard to go to the gym. They find it hard to want to do new things. They find it hard to want to work on themselves and get better. And they're like, the one thing that I lack is motivation. And the other group of lads, they were doing first and then figuring it out as they went along. They were trying stuff out. They didn't know why. They didn't know, this isn't a knock on them, because at 14, I don't think any of us knew. But they were doing what they could with what they had. And it was interesting to see the difference in mentality. Okay, so I think we saw there a big difference between guys who go on to have a successful life, who go on to make it in whatever sense of the word, and the people who really struggle. And it's the simple formula that you don't start motivated. Does that make sense, guys? For you younger guys watching this, or anybody who's trying to get motivated at the moment, you don't start with motivation. You earn the motivation. Okay, so you do first. You go out into the world, you go and do new things, you go to the gym, you work on a business, you approach 50 women in a day if you're starting off and whatever. And as you get results, or as things happen, or as you start to put, as I always say, points on the board, and you start to gain some ground, it becomes more fun. It's like when you go to the gym, okay, you go for maybe a month and you're just like, oh, it's getting on my nerves. And then you get to the point where I'm at now, where I'm probably in my final cut and I'm trying to get down to 10% body fat again. Every single time I feel like I don't want to go, I can simply just take my shirt off, look in the mirror and be like, I like looking like this. I can keep pushing this. How far can I go? It's great motivation when you can look at yourself and go, that's pretty good results. I can see what I've managed to put together there. And it's the same with anything that you do. You've got to do the work first, and then you earn the motivation. The motivation arrives. But so many people are saying, look, I'm not motivated. There's something wrong with me. I'm not the type of person who wants to try and become successful. I'm not the type of person who wants to try and do more in life. I'm not the type of person who is able to wake up at 5 a.m. and get things. I don't really think many people are. So now, when I did 9-to-5 jobs, guys, I was lazy as fuck. I would work hard. I would work hard while I was there, but I was very reluctant. If I could take I was in a factory job and I used to take an hour and a half for lunch. Okay. So I used to wait as long as possible and then take an hour and a half, and that would leave me with an hour left until the end of the day. I would then go and take a shit. And, you know, I would stay in there for as long as I could. I would walk back to my desk slowly, put my gloves back on and all this shit. And there'd be like 20 minutes left, 30 minutes left in the day. And that's the type of person I was, okay? Now, with my own business, I knew that in the early days, yeah, it was tiring. Yeah, going to the gym in the morning, working on your business all day, all night, doing everything yourself, not having any employees, putting every penny back into the business, not having as much fun as other people in life, you know, when they're going out, enjoying themselves, booking holidays and stuff. Yeah, it's not nice. But at the same time, every single month that you do, or every single 6-month segment that you do, you know, especially when I say to you guys, work on 3 things at once, if you do that for 6 months, or if you just focus on 5 things for 5 years, like I've said these things to you guys before, and you just continuously keep knocking on the door, and you fight through the lack of motivation, but at some point down the line, that's going to increase. And you're going to see results. You're going to look in the mirror. You're going to start to see the possibility of an end goal. See, it's easy for me now because I can book a holiday. I can take a beautiful woman. I can take my top off on the beach and I look, in my opinion, I look good. I can buy some really nice clothes. So the motivation for me to get up and work each morning is, you want more of this? You know, you want more of the same? You know, which would be your stick. If you wanted to twist, do you want to go 10x further? Do you want to see how far you can take this? But I've got evidence to go on. I've used my own body transformation, okay? I've looked back at my own body transformation and gone, look at the changes you've made. Look where you were, look where you are now. Imagine if you just put that same work and dedication in now. You know, yeah, I get you don't want to go to the gym, you're tired or whatever. But if you worked as hard as you did back then, now, imagine where you could be, you know, with the platform you've already built. And that's where the motivation comes from, okay? And I think a lot of you guys out there are really struggling to get started or even do anything because you're waiting for that surge of motivation. You're waiting for it to hit you so that, and you might watch a motivational video and you get one day out of it. It's not enough. Okay, you need to come to terms with the fact that you're going to be pretty demotivated when you're at the bottom. Because I was. I felt like shit. I couldn't get any women. I didn't have any money. You're always in debt. You're always like, it's hard. It's not nice. It sucks. I couldn't do that forever. Like if my shit years had gone on another year or two, I might have quit. So everybody has a kind of timeline. You just have to stick in those trenches for just give it like 8 to 10 years. That's not that bad. That's not that bad over the period of a lifetime. I think 8 to 10 years. I think anybody can get through that because I don't think it's going to be completely terrible during those full years. I think you're going to have some good moments. You're going to have some ups and downs. You're going to see some level of progress. You might have to have 5 completely shit years. Let's say you start at 20. At 25, it might be significantly better than it was. Not quite where you want it to be, but significantly better. Especially with the gym, if you just did 6 months to a year solid of demotivated, but you went consistently, you're probably going to be in pretty good shape at the end of that. So that's all it is, guys. It's just a game of doing first and getting the motivation secondary. Now, like, nobody expects you to be some fat, ugly, just low-level, no-money guy and being like, I'm going to make things happen this year, I can't wait. That's like a David Goggins real rarity that it just hits you. But what you got to do is say, my life is shit. I feel like I'm going nowhere. I've not figured any of this out. I feel terrible about myself and my situation. But I trust the process because you look at people like myself and you see where I was and where I am now. And surely you must look at that and think, okay, it's possible. Well, I'm going to do something towards that. Now, do I think I can get the same results? I don't know. Do I think this is going to work? I don't know. Am I wasting my time? I don't know. But just do blindly. Just go and do. Okay, so you wake up in the morning, I'm demotivated. I can't be bothered. But I'm just going to go to the gym. Like, you're demotivated. Great, so was I. So was I yesterday, and I still went. And the day before, and I still went. I'm tired as fuck over this stream platform. I've been working on it for 9 years. The whole website got wiped out and deleted once before. All of my footage when I tried to do this 6, 7 years ago got stolen. The guy never sent it back to me, just kept it. I don't know what he ever used it for. Paid him like $2,000 and his mate, whatever. And we went and filmed like 4 projects in a week, and that was supposed to be like the start of everything in Toronto. All gone, never heard from the guy again. Okay, well, we have to do this again. We have to start up again from the ground up because now we've got absolutely nothing and we're in massive debt. Yeah, I was demotivated back in the day. I felt like shit, wanting to quit. Today, the streaming platform goes live. So we did it. Do you know what I mean? And I got there from going demotivated, feel like shit, but I'm going to do it anyway and just see where I end up. And that's what you're doing. You're walking in the dark. You're walking blindly forwards until you can see a little bit of light. Okay? It's like sometimes you'll be playing sports. I used to play football matches and I used to keep sprinting. And I didn't know why. We're maybe losing 2-0 and I was like, it's fucking raining, I'm cold, I've got better shit to be doing, I could be at home working on my business, I could be living in a different country right now, but I kept sprinting around, trying to, you know, make something happen. End of the game, I've scored the 3rd goal. I remember one game I'm actually picturing right now, I scored 2 in that game, and we won 3-2, and I got a header I played well, my finishing was off though, and I scored a header in like the last second of the game, and we won 3-2. And I thought, that's why you keep going. That's why you keep running around. So now after the game, I'm super motivated. Can't wait for next week. I'm going to do some training in the week. Yeah, because of the high that it's given you. But prior to that, I felt like shit. Felt demotivated. Oh, I want to quit. But you just keep going. And that's the key, guys. If you're at the start or if you're in a slump, which I've had this year. I've had a slump. You know, there's something about ticking all of your goals that puts you in a slump where you go, what's next? What do I want to do? Tyson Fury spoke about this. He beat Klitschko and became world heavyweight champion, and he went, what now? Like, what comes of this? Like, I'm already at the top of my goal. Like, do I just continue staying here? It takes a certain mindset to stay there. So it happens all throughout your life, but you just need to keep putting those points on the boards until you see enough to get motivated. It's hard to be motivated at the start, you know, or at least like you could be motivated for 2-3 days. I'm going to start hitting the gym. This is going to be great. 2 weeks in, a month in, yeah, the motivation is going to fade away because you don't have that initial buzz of that, you know, that initial thought, that brainwave of I'm going to make it happen this year. That fades away pretty quickly. So it's in those darkest, it's the dullest moments. And I used to speak to you guys about this years and years and years ago. And I know there's a whole new audience on here now, so I'm going to tell them too. Entrepreneurship. It gets celebrated online. You know, we see all these videos of people wrapping up deals, driving around in, you know, expensive cars and all this stuff. Entrepreneurship is boring. Not a lot happens on a daily basis. Like today we're releasing the streaming platform. For the last 2 months, we filmed some content. So since we filmed that last piece of content in Marbella, between then and now, I've just been WhatsApping people. How's the edits? How's the trailers? You know, messaging the team that are building. Are we close? Can we add these names, these lifetime names? Can we add them to the subscriber list? I'm just sending out an email on MailChimp. It's fucking boring. Like, this looks all cool. It's boring hanging up these posters. Putting them in the frames individually. Measuring it all. It's just fucking dull. Most days are boring. You know, now and again a new camera arrives. You're like, oh, this is good. Once you've got it, it's fucking boring. Like, I'm sat here now and I just had to download and install a piece of software and put it on. I was fucking bored. I really didn't want to do it. I was like, I should really hire somebody to do this shit moving forward. It's getting on my fucking nerves. But now I get to record a video. I get to put it out. I get a lot of views off the back of it. That leads to other things. I get to tell you guys that the stream platform goes live today. You know, and so you guys know, what's the date? So if you're watching it late. So today is Tuesday, the 23rd of May. So you know when it actually went live, okay? We've got Rob's Male Advantage journey on there now. It's cool to watch. That's a highlight. Simp Society's going on there on Thursdays. That'll be Thursday, what did I say? It was 23rd? So 25th it will be on there. And they're highlights. You know, but then after that, all I'll be doing is emails and setting up the next project. And, hey, when will you be available for? Maybe we could do Zoom. Let's look into some flights. Okay, what's the travel plans? Let's book some hotel. That shit is dull. That's boring. But everyone likes to show it as a Rolex and a car. Most of this shit is dull, okay? And that's where your motivation will come from. In those shitty moments. Hamza says it best, to be fair, and I can't remember his exact quote, but you guys, I can paraphrase it and you guys can remember it, but it's do the hard work even when you don't want to. And that's pretty much it. You know, especially at the start of your journey. So you're there and you're going, oh, I can't be bothered. Oh, it's such a long way to start. I'm in terrible shape as it is. It's gonna be like 8 years before just take the first step forward. Just do something. You'd be very surprised how good you feel after a short amount of time. If you've been going to the gym for like 3-4 months, you start seeing results. You look at yourself in the mirror, you put on a few new clothes and you get a little bit of female attention. Believe me, you're going to be at that gym at 5-6 a.m. the next morning. It doesn't take a lot. And this is what guys forget. That's how you get your motivation. You don't start with it. I don't believe there's many people on planet Earth that have, you know, natural motivated characters. I don't believe they woke up or they jumped out the womb and went, let's do some work, let's get shit done. I feel like most people need to see something. They need to see evidence of somebody doing it before them. They need to get some results themselves. They need to do first. Like, I'll wake up in the morning and I kind of feel like shit. Most mornings, I'm like, I can't be fucking bothered. I've made decent money. I live in a nice house. Like, my life's pretty cool. I sleep with beautiful women. I'm like, do I really need to work that hard today? But then I'll just go to the gym. I'll tick that box. I'll come out the gym. I'll go and get some food or whatever. I'll cook it here. Maybe I'll eat out, have a shower, put on some nice clothes. And then I'm, you know, looking in the mirror thinking, you look good. You've made a lot of yourself. Like, you're in really good shape. You've got a bit of a tan. You know, I get my beard trimmed once a week. I shave this every 2 days. So I can always look and feel my best. So when I look in the mirror, I'm like, you look good. You know, you're going somewhere. You're putting points on the board. If you start to get sloppy, where you just sit around the house, you don't get a haircut, you let your beard grow out, you're not showering every day or whatever, you're getting lazy, you're not tidying the house, you're not making your beds, it's these little things where you start to get this low sense of motivation where you're just like, oh, what's the point? Oh, I'll just hop back in the same bed. You've got to keep things on point. You know, it's like cleaning your car on the inside and outside. If it looks good, you're probably more likely to want to go and drive around and, you know, and see people and whatever. If you look good, you're probably more likely to want to go on a date, meet a woman. If you look good naked, you're probably more likely to want to have sex, which is going to lead to approaching women, feeling confident about yourself. If you're in good shape, you're probably more likely to want to go to the gym to maintain it. You know, and this is what people forget. You know, and like I said, I'll get to that point in the morning and then I'll sit at my desk and I'm like, oh, it's going to be a lot of work. It's a lot. As soon as, like right now, making this video, I am 19, 20 minutes in roughly. I feel like I want to do another 100 videos. I feel like I want to do nothing but work. And that's how it begins. You just do the first part of your day. You know, you try and do the hardest part first. You put some daily points on the board. You do something each day where you go, that's driven me forward. That's pushed me forward. That can lead me to a better place in a year. I can be proud of what I've done today. And once you've done one thing, you'll see the rest just start trickling. It's like a domino effect. You just push one and you know, everything, it's like a catalyst for everything else that you do that day. That's why I love to hit the gym in the morning, because I feel like it's such a mental task to wake up, to go to the gym, to put in some effort, to, you know, to sweat, to push yourself. You're aching, you're in pain, you still do it. Like go and I box on like Wednesday mornings. It's the middle of the week, you're starting to feel low. You go and box, you get a testosterone surge, you feel fantastic, you go again. You know, I love that sort of feeling. And I'll take a Saturday off. I've started taking Saturdays off now because I think I just want some level of a life. I'll wake up on Sunday morning and I'm like, oh, I got to get going again. I've got to start. It's hard to pick it back up, but you just have to do it. Okay, sometimes it's better to just stay in that rhythm, especially when you're young. That's what I did. I just didn't take a single day off. But it's hard to pick it back up again. That's the hardest part about being motivated, getting things done, getting results in life, is just starting. And if you can get over that mindset of I'm just not a motivated person, I don't think anybody is. I don't think I am. But it's the motivation you receive from seeing results, from doing something. You know, the way your chemicals will change when you go to the gym in the morning, the way your hormones will change. And it'll make you feel like, yeah, do you know what? Like, here's the thing. Success, being a loser, it's all just trends. That's all it is. So if you get in habits Or if you've got good habits, you feel better about yourself. So if you woke up in the morning, you went to the gym, you went for a run, you came back, you ate clean, I would say you're probably 10 times more likely to do a full day's work off the back of that. I think if you woke up in the morning and you ate 3 donuts and had a milkshake, I would bet big money that you're way more likely to do fuck all for the rest of that day. You're probably gonna, even if you do some work, you're probably gonna finish early and be watching fucking Disney. I would put big money on that, and that becomes a habit. Okay, like I said, shaving my head every 2 days so it doesn't get messy. Going to the barber and get my beard done once a week. Regular skincare routine, going to the gym, eating clean, stuff like that. I do it so that, and buying nice clothes, looking good. I always try and dress as well as I can based on the day that I'm having. So that, I put on aftershave even if I'm just going to be in the house all day, because I just think it's almost like putting on armor. It's like a routine. So you tick all these boxes. You clean your house. Do you know what I mean? There's dishes lying around. The house smells. You've got to take the bins out. Do it. Get it done. Okay? Because it does something to this. It makes you start thinking, I'm a high-level man. I don't like using that term, but I am a high-level man. You start thinking to yourself, I'm the type of guy who gets things done, who has a clean house, who lives in a certain way. Like I told you guys before, the other side of male life. If you frame yourself in a certain way and you conduct yourself in a certain way, and your life and yourself is reflective of somebody who is super high level, who accomplishes things in life, you're probably going to act in that way. And I'm telling you from experience, if my house is dirty, I do not work as hard. I go and clean my whole house, I make it smell good and whatever, and I'm motivated to work. I'm motivated to add some more points on the board, because I'm like, how far can I push this? What else can I do in life? Like success makes you want to bring more success. And that's where your motivation will come from. Like if you're in a sports team that's winning, you want to keep playing, you want to keep winning. You're all at training on a Wednesday. When I was a kid, if we'd won a game, we were all at training on Wednesday. If we'd lost 1 or 2 in a row, barely anybody would turn up. People would just start giving up. What's the point? This is silly. This is stupid. You got to remember that. Success, good habits, motivation, it's a pattern. That's where it comes from. You just keep doing these good habits, even when you don't want to, every single day. And eventually it will add up to points on the board, and then it becomes easy. I used to watch motivational videos. I used to watch the Eric Thomas and, all these guys and whatever. And I used to watch like a Gary Vee motivational video. I don't anymore, because I don't need it. I can just look at my own life. I'm a bit older, so it changes. But I can just look at my own life and my own results. And I'm like, there's your motivation. Like, you've done it before. You know how to do it. Just fucking get to work. Like, it's that easy. Your results have been this good. Now you've got money and time and, a foundation to build off. Fuck, you could be buying a yacht this time next year. Like, that gets me out of bed. It's very easy to do when you can actually see it. And that's all you guys need to do, is work first, go and do something. You watch the motivation start coming in. Little things like wake up in the morning, make your bed, clean your house. You take off your shoes, put them back exactly where they were. I don't know why it works, but like I said, it's like a pattern. It's like a trend. It starts to do something in here. And I think, it's like I said to you guys in the gym before, if I know I'm doing 10 reps and I get to 9 and I'm like, nobody's going to know. Yeah, but I will know. And that fucks your mindset. If I back down from a fight or something, I know I fucked up. If I saw a beautiful woman and I was like, I want to talk to her, and then I went, oh, you probably should. I know that I just kind of bottled that. I'd rather go over and be like, oh, hey, and panic, than be the guy who is like, I don't ever want to risk anything. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of my mindset in life. That's my mindset in success, business, the gym, whatever. I'd rather just go and do it rather than sit there and be like, but I was tired. And like, just go and do and just see the motivation that comes off the back of that. People have got it the wrong way round. They think you have to be motivated and then do stuff. They think that motivated people make things happen. The most successful people on planet Earth, they just go and have a go. They're demotivated, but they'll do it anyway. And then they get results, and then the motivation arrives, and then the results are 10x. That's the real system that nobody ever tells you.